Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to RecStone. We're jumping in the playoffs here, a quarterfinal matchup. And just a quick recap: we didn't have videos for these, but the results of the qualifying round one was Carl defeated Adam 3-1. In round two, Jamie took on Scott 3-0 in a very quick fashion, and then Francis defeated Carl 3-1. So now the two quarterfinal matchups are Trevor and Jamie, and Robert versus Francis. We're about to cast Trevor versus Jamie here. Trevor is bringing his Hunter, Paladin, and Warlock, and Jamie's bringing a Priest, Rogue, and a Hunter. We'll get right into it. So Jamie was able to defeat Scott very quickly. Apparently it was less than 20 minutes for the three matches. This will be Trevor's first match in the playoffs. His third place finish in the season gave him a quarterfinal berth. Let's see if he can take advantage of that. And Jamie's just got one win behind him, so we'll see how it goes. Waiting for these guys in the semifinals is either myself or Pat. It really depends on who wins here and who wins versus Rob and Francis to see who faces who, but it should be good. Give them a go-go. Oh wait, they're ready. So we'll take a look at Jamie's perspective here for game one. So this is really anyone's game, I would imagine here. Alright, so it's going to be...
Your soul shall be mine! Let the hunt begin.
Jamie's Hunter versus Trevor's Warlock. Let's see, make sure the cards come in properly. Alright. So this could be an interesting game. Alright, so this appears to be Trevor's handlock deck, which has an interesting factor where it actually runs Zombie Chow. Which I quite like, because especially in a case like this, where it's going to be go-go-aggro, Trevor is going to be that Zombie Chow. Oh, he draws the other one too. Wow, that's fantastic. Yeah, so the big deal here with those Zombie Chows is it'll keep him alive for a little while. Sure, you can't get the crazy turn 4 shenanigans of a giant out, but he's going to really weather the storm in the early game here. Jamie drops the Mad Scientist. If I were him, I'd probably throw the Spider into there. There you go, guarantees a trade. Big Game Hunter probably won't be too useful this game, unfortunately. Now Trevor can do something pretty cheeky here and sack both these guys to burn both this and the secret that would pop out, but instead he's just going to hit face. Not so sure I agree with that, just because the Zombie Chows will just heal it right back up. Jamie's going to drop Animal Companion. It's a Leok. And he'll just start hitting the face here, which unfortunately for Trevor is not what he's looking for. Alright, so Ancient Watcher, not too useful here. So he could sack both to kill. He's got a Drake play next turn, which is good. But he's got to do something with this board. He can't just be taking more damage here. He's got a Dark Bomb to play with as well. He could Dark Bomb this, and then Mad Scientist. We'll see. Trevor's got some choices to make here. He could also just Dark Bomb the Mad Scientist. It's actually a tricky situation for Trevor here. He could throw both into Leok here. The Mad Scientist on its own is not the biggest threat in the world. It's just annoying that it will essentially give a secret. Though Trevor does have the silence to work with as well. He's not sure what to do. I think he's just going to throw both Chows. Yeah, so he's just going to clear the board. He will Dark Bomb the Mad Scientist here to stop the flow a little bit here of the damage. The random secret was the Freezing Trap, so both Freezing Traps are available. Alright, so it looks like he's thinking the Twilight Drake. Alright, so Haunted Creepers on this side. So, yeah, Jamie can just totally ignore the Drake. With the two Freezing Traps in hand, he could just keep wailing on the face and be guaranteed. All guaranteed that the projects will be useless for many turns to come. That's where it gets tricky for Trevor here. He's at the second owl. I would highly suggest for him to probably silence this guy and Dark Bomb it. Just get rid of it. Eliminate a lot of that value. Plus then you have an Iron Beak out to potentially freezing trap here. Alright, so he will trigger the freezing trap anyway. This is where he just Dark Bombs, I think. Otherwise he's taking way too much damage. Opening the tap first. And he will Dark Bomb here. Okay. Loatheb here is an excellent drop. For many reasons. Alright, Trevor's in tough here. This Hunter deck is potent. It is fast. Alright, he has the Molten Giant though. That is an excellent drop to have here. Does he have a Taunt Maker in his hand? He does not. Uh-oh. Well, definitely Molten Giant. And probably the anti-heal bot. Alright, that's a pretty good play there. See what Jamie does to deal with that. He does have the Hunter's Mark, which I'll probably use here, I'd imagine. The Abusive Sergeant can also be used to kill the heal bot. That's what it looks like he's doing.
Get in there and fight!
See what he gets from the Web Spinner as well. It could be anything, really, so... Gets the Beast. Oh, wow. Well, that's definitely threatening. Yeah. So this is bad for Trevor. Fortunately for him, though, the BGH here is pretty good. It'll kill this off, put something on the board, and then he could also drop Faceless? Yeah, he could Faceless this, actually. Faceless, then BGH it. Would probably be an okay move. However, there's 5, 10... Actually, lethal's on the board if he doesn't deal with more of this board than he has now. So I think maybe he has forced to do Siphon Soul here. He doesn't have enough mana to do both, unfortunately. He's one off from doing BGH and Siphon. So I think Siphon the Beast is a must. Otherwise, he will be. Otherwise, lethal is a reality. I think he sees it too. So he will heal himself, get the 3/3.
Oh, I've been inside that thing for months.
And he'll drop the Ancient Watcher, hoping for a taunt soon. Unleash the Hounds. 5, 10, 13. Not one off lethal for Jamie here. But it wouldn't be the worst idea to just go for it anyway, maybe. Because Warlock has a minimal amount of ways that it can heal itself. You know, drop Freezing Trap as well. Yeah. So, I think he's got this one in the bag. He's been untouched. I think Handlock's just not a good matchup, especially with both Freezing Traps in the hand like that. Trevor didn't also get the best draw ever. He didn't know board wipes. And even with Taunt Makers here, he can't tap. Can't stop the hero power. That's game one. Jamie takes game one with the Hunter. And this is a play I don't see here, but...
Well,
Alright, taps himself to death. Game one out of the way. Jamie, now a perfect 4-0 in the playoffs so far in game matches. 3-0 versus Scott, now 1-0 versus Trevor. Maybe it was his Hunter that won the game so quickly. Certainly seems like it. Alright, so Trevor is down his Warlock already, which is not so good. Trevor has his own Hunter and a Paladin. I don't know which he feels more comfortable with against this very aggro Hunter, but we'll see which one he picks. I think either one has a decent shot. Hunter v Hunter is always kind of silly, to be honest, but it certainly can do it. And then the Paladin deck is also a very solid deck, but it can be a little slow to get going sometimes. It depends. Yeah, I think his is a more mid-rangey Paladin deck, so in that sense he has a decent shot of overcoming it. So we'll see what Trevor has here. The Hunter deck seems to be the one to beat. Hunter v. Hunter.
Let the hunt begin.
Don't expect this match to last very long, folks. We'll try that again. Alright, right back into the action here.
Put this apple on your head.
Alright, unfortunately for Trevor here, not a great play with the juggler. He can drop his own. Interesting choice not to use the not to pop this yet, but I suppose actually from Jamie's perspective here, there's not a whole lot he can do that's worthwhile. He could drop Freezing Trap, I guess. Oh, he could silence that as well. Hope to get a board clear here, actually. Nope, no such luck. Alright, well at least Trevor has an out to kill the Knife Juggler this turn here. Then he could drop a Haunted Creeper. Probably better to kill the... I would probably throw this in first just to see what you get. If you get lucky, you get a 1-drop. He'll have to do this first anyway. Alright. I think it's a Grizzly Bear, which is kind of handy in this matchup. Savannah High main. Alright, first Freezing Trap is on the board. And going full aggro. Going the exact mode that people generally hate to play against Hunters for that very reason. Well, you might as well burn the secret. I've never been a fan of leaving the secrets up, especially Freezing Trap, because you literally can't do anything until you do something. I'd throw down the Iron for Grizzly here, because if this is an explosive trap, this is just getting murdered. I don't know if Jamie actually runs explosive traps though. I've only seen the 2 freezings. But I think the Grizzly here is a good choice. And I would just pop the secret. Try to kill something. If you leave it there, you're leaving a potential chance for it to get a proc on the weapons. So there's a kill command. Not the worst idea to use right now, and that's exactly what he's going to do. He's just say, you know what, fine. You didn't want to pop my Freezing Trap? Suffer the fate. Down to 19 already. In a mirror matchup, this is not a good sign. Oh, there's a good potential play here for a knife to kill something. Hopefully. It does. Alright, there you go. So now I think you can safely just pop that trap. Yeah.
Job done.
See, he's playing a risk. If that was explosive trap, that could have been disastrous. I would have hit the minion first. Right, well, that's one.
I'll show them. I'll show them all.
Yeah, this race is not going Trevor's way right now, but he has a few turns here to potentially get something going here. This guy's his own mad scientist. He could drop both in hopes to kill the one on the board, or he could just drop Lotheb and go crazy with it.
I'll show them.
Let's see what he gets. Oh, gets one hit. Can he get the second one? I'd probably drop the Haunted Creeper, maybe.
I'll show them.
Oh no.
I'll show them.
There you go. And no more secrets. So we know for fact. I don't know if I would have put the Freezing Trap down now or not. Maybe not, because Hunter has Flare. Alright, well, Savannah Highman comes down. And this is where Trevor starts to laugh. He's got his own Freezing Trap here. Freezing Trap and Eagle Horn Bow. And just do what Hunters do best. Ignore the board, hit the face. And he will swing with the weapon as well. There you go. Boom, all of a sudden. Jamie's the one who's who's been threatened here. That hurts. Freezing Trap on the Savannah High Main, making it an 8 cost. Alright, well, it's a battle of secrets and the Reason and the Eaglehorn bows here. But I think Trevor has the edge for now. In fact, no, it doesn't quite have lethal. Oh, we're bugging out again. Darn it. It's a pretty common bug on the observing here. See if we can't get back in here real quick. It's almost lethal time for Trevor, so I think he's got this one in the bag. Yeah, dropping Loath up here is actually pretty key. Prevents any potential shenanigans, puts a big body on the board. And he is... yeah. So he's 2 off lethal here, so unless Jamie has a way to heal and or do anything, Trevor's got this in the bag. And just taking a look at his cards, that is game, ladies and gents. Trevor takes game 2. The Hunters prevail.
Well fought, well, I can see.
Now we'll see how long this Hunter deck can go on for Trevor here, because it seems like Hunter can counter Hunter, but how well can it do? Moving on. So Jamie's got 2 options here. He's got a Priest and a Rogue deck. I don't know if I love either of them that much against Hunters. As a pretty prominent Priest player myself, I'm not the biggest fan of that matchup. Even to this day, like back when they were broken with Buzzards, it was difficult enough, but even now, unless you have a deck specifically built to take on a Hunter, it's not the best matchup, usually. Looking on that Rogue side of it, I don't know how well his Rogue deck could handle it. If it's the common Rogue deck that's been thrown around lately in RecStone, I don't know how it would handle against Hunter. It's very bursty, and it's got a lot of potential board wipes with Blade Furies and Spell Power. But we'll see. Well, it's all tied up at 1 now, so we're down to a best of 3. We'll see what happens moving forward here. Oh, they're doing battle. There we go. Alright, so we know what the Hunter deck is all about. Let's see what Jamie's bringing. So he's breaking out the Rogue to take on the Hunter here.
Let the hunt begin.
Watch your back.
Alright, looking at Trevor's hand, he's probably liking that hand quite a bit. Might not want the kill command right away, but... oh, you already did the mulligans, okay. Oh, that's a pretty gross start. Alright, Web Spinner to begin to start things off. Jamie will coin out a weapon. Alright, start clearing the board here. Trevor gets a Captain's Parrot. That sucks. Of all the beasts to get, this one seems to be the most popular one you get from those stupid web spinners. Alright. Tinker's Sharp Sword Oil. This has really changed Rogue since GVG came out. It's quite the potent card here. He'll backstab here and take one of them out. Probably just recharge his weapon. With one backstab out of the way, I think it's safe. I think it's fairly safe to drop a Knife Juggler here. That's exactly what he's thinking. And he'll drop another Web Spinner. There we go. Alright, Eviscerate is drawn. Is it worth using to kill... Actually, there's a Blade Fury play here, come to think of it. You hit the Knife Juggler with your face and you Blade Fury to wipe the board out. Which, considering the hands here, it's not the worst idea. You could just use the Eviscerate as well. Rather save the Blade Fury for a bigger play. Well, he's getting the removal out of the way. Trevor is it. Oh, he hits the Young Dragonhawk. Wow, he's getting terrible RNG from those web spinners. Yeah, like at this point, what do? Drop both the beasts? Drop both beasts and
Sorry about that.
yeah, that's pretty bad luck for Trevor. But, okay, so what he's got here? He's got Unleash, he's got Sludge Belcher, and a Kill Command. Will he drop a Naked Defias? I think he will, yeah.
Scrub.
Ooh, Houndmaster. Now that's a card. That's a top deck. Make the Captain's Barrack fat. That or just Sludge Belcher. But he has a target for this Houndmaster right now, and he may not necessarily have it next turn, so just like that. Alright, Azure Drake is probably the play here. Kill the Parrot, drop the Drake. Grabs a sap. Okay, so down to 21 health. This is probably a fairly easy trade for Trev here, or no, actually the Eaglehorn Bow is not strong enough. These Azure Drakes are key to crazy things like the Blade Flurries and all that stuff, so I would be very tempted just to kill it, unless Trevor's going to be greedy here. And he's greedy. Alright, well, the craziest of crazy board wipes can happen now. Tinker, Blade Fury can happen now, and it would be a 5 damage to everything.
So many options.
That's what's happening. That's the danger of keeping these Drakes alive. And there goes the board. Alright, the good news is for Trevor, on Trevor's end, is he can get the Eaglehorn Bow out and finish this off. And I would do that before dropping Savannah. Oh, he's going to drop Savannah High Main first. Okay, well, Sap's coming into play. Second Sap drawn too. That's so unlucky for Trevor here. Second Drake and a Sap. Yeah, again, from a bird's eye point of view, these aren't the right plays, but from Trevor's point of view, it's really hard to know what's happening. There's a second Savannah to boot. At this point, I would yeah, even Unleash and Kill Command don't do that. Don't do great things for him. This is a rough spot for Trev. If he drops Savannah again, he will get sapped and probably lose the game as a result. Alternatively, if he kills one of them... Oh, there we go. Unfortunately, Trevor playing the numbers game. Still over half the cards in deck. The odds of Jamie having the second sap isn't that high, but here it is again. Getting very lucky on those draws. Second sap. And then oh wow, the damage is real here. This rogue deck is so potent. 6 damage bursts from that one card alone. Not quite lethal, but pretty darn close. And with that, Trevor does not have a way to kill everything off and staying alive. Can't heal up, can't taunt up. That is game. So Jamie looks like he's going to go to match point with this rogue deck. And Trevor is going to have to follow through with his Paladin. He's hoping the Paladin deck
Well played.
can bring it home for him. Down 2-1, Jamie up 2-1. Probably should have killed that Drake, but don't know if that would have made a difference in the end. But that Blade Flurry was definitely the turning point of that game. That 5 damage AoE, which hits everything, is definitely, you have to worry about that every time you play against that kind of rogue deck. Right, so no more choices for Trevor. He's down to Paladin. His last life already. It all comes down to this for Trevor. Can he do it? Can we go to game 5? Trevor finished 3rd overall in the season.
Watch.
Jamie finished 6th. And the 60s is on the verge of upsetting the 3rd. Ah, but see, this is a great... I like to see... Okay, Karen's not the greatest card in the starting hand, but everything else is fantastic here. Right, well, he's got 2 mini-bots in the hand. Wow. That's a fantastic start here. Alright, well, he'll draw one of the backstabs out to kill it. But I think Trevor's A-okay with that. Oh, he's not? Wow, the backstab was not used. Interesting. Well, 2 shield bots. Backstab will use this turn. And throw down a Defias.
Scrub. Yeah, beat it.
Well, those mini bots are doing work. Yeah, Peacekeeper here is actually a pretty good play because it keeps board position here. Alright, another sprint. Or the first sprint of this game. Jamie is definitely using those knives to their fullest here. Whereas Trevor is just doing what he's doing best and just putting quality minions down, keeping board control. Letting the rogue deal the damage to himself. Alright, with 5 mana plays here, we're just gonna trade again. Boom. Pop the Leper Gnome. And Eviscerate. Let's see what he gets from a 2-drop. That's not a bad one. It doesn't trade well with this, but he can just be a little more aggressive with it. Harrison Jones here, not a bad play. Gets him 2 additional cards. Alternatively, the Sludge Belcher is also a good play. He's leaning on the Sludge Belcher here, which I agree with. And you just go face, yeah. Putting the pressure on early. Alright, the Tinker Sharp Sword Oil is around, so he's gonna burn his sap on the Sludge Belcher, which isn't a bad choice. Kills the Wild Pyromancer. There we go. Unfortunately for Jamie, though, he has no minion. He might have to drop the Mind Control tech here. And Trevor's got choices now. With 1 sap out of the way, with 6 mana, I think Cairn. A nice shiny Cairn. Very sticky minion. Violet Teacher's a little late to the party. Alright, so Jamie's saying, screw it. We need cards. Anti-Kill Bot is key. Sludge Belcher. Drake. And Backstab. Alright, so full hand here for Jamie. And Trevor's just going to be, you know what? You have a lot of cards. We're going to try to end this now. 8 damage there. Alright, so what can you do now? He didn't draw his second sap, so he needs some way to deal. Cairn doesn't die easily, so he needs to heal up for sure. Negate all the damage that was dealt this last turn. But with 3 mana left, there's not a whole lot to work with. Just refreshes the knife. Okay, so what's Trev going to do here? He's going to try to keep controlling the board here. Lotheb is an excellent play here. Lotheb really ruins anything that Jamie could do this turn. If Trevor has the foresight of doing Lotheb right now, he does. Makes Reinforce token. There we go. So now the rogue is very limited in what they can do. You got drop the Belcher is probably the best play here, and Violet Teacher.
Pay attention, class.
All right, so getting through the Belcher is not that difficult for Trevor here. 2 Consecrations in hand, actually. Does he have lethal? No, he's very close to it though. So if you ran Cairn, yeah, he doesn't have lethal. But 1 Consecration here will clear the board. He could use, I think he'll use the, yeah, he'll use the sword here. Very potent board here. Can Jamie do anything about it? He's got some chances here. He really needed that Blade Flurry, though. A Blade Flurry would have definitely been useful here. But no such luck. No taunts. No card draw. A lot of removal, some removal in his hand, though, so he could probably do something. But
So many options.
Pay attention, class.
all right, Violet Teacher. Eviscerate.
I am ready to learn.
I think he's just banking on Trevor not having the 1 point of damage.
I am ready to learn.
Yeah, he's banking on Trevor not having the extra point of damage for lethal. But as we can see from our point of view here, with the True Silver draw as well.
Well played.
And True Silver Champion for the win. Trevor brings it back. Jamie gives up this game. Here we go. Game 5. Do or die for both of these players. Will Trevor keep his 3rd seed and move on to the semifinals, or will Jamie upset as the 6th seed and steal away the semifinal spot from Trevor? Very exciting. We're down to a Priest versus Paladin matchup. It's always an entertaining match to watch, especially depending what kind of Priest deck that Jamie brings. But the staples will probably usually be there, and Trevor's got the staples of the Paladin deck, so this is very, very interesting. No more choices to be made. Game 5. Who will move on to the semifinals? And here we go. What can Jamie bring with his Priest deck?
Undo it.
Trevor has a lot of experience facing against Priest. He and I often play some just little skirmishes between our two decks. So Trevor should have an idea of what's possible here. Alright, boom. Nothing crazy here from the Priest. No big surprises here. Zombie Chow is a really annoying thing to deal with as a Priest. But you have the Northshire Cleric.
Well met.
Put this apple on your head.
Knife Juggler drop. Alright, so he will resign to the fact that he will lose the Northshire Cleric and get the 1 card out of it, which is decent. But he will definitely lose it here. Actually, he could save the 2 health on his Knife Juggler if he makes a token here, hoping for the good knife. Otherwise, he just has to use a Knife Juggler. Good knife. And gets himself the attack that way. There we go. Optimal play. Now, the Wild Pyro play is definitely a possibility here. Wild Pyro coin. Not the most ideal. You can Wild Pyro circle. Or just Shadowword. Yeah, it didn't make much sense. Shadowword Pain here is probably the best play. Shielded Minibot. It's still safe to play that one, especially after you just saw Shadowword Pain get thrown out there.
On your head. Shields up. Red alert.
Alright, I definitely see either a Holy Nova or a Shadow Madness play here. And he's going to coin out the Holy Nova here. It's too juicy not to do it. Heal 7, kill 2 cards, pop the shield off that guy. Alright, Piloted Shredder. Good top deck there. That one's always annoying to deal with as a Priest. Like the Yetis of old. Not a great, no single great plays here for Jamie. He could drop the Akanai. Oh, he will Akanai Circle here, interesting. Probably resigned to the fact that... Huh. Well, that's something. Yeah, so he's just gonna keep the Mech Warper alive here. Keep the board position.
Reporting for duty.
He's got the Quartermaster and Harrison Jones in hand here. Now, Harrison Jones will not be very useful in this matchup, obviously, but still a 5/4 body to deal with. Ooh, them plays. Wild Pyro Shadow Madness combo. Sludge Belcher comes in. That's always a solid pick. I like it better than Harrison at this point, because you're just 1 spell away from Harrison dying and trading. Well, sort of. Yeah, with the heal. He could Consecrate here, but I don't love it, especially with Dr. Boom coming up and all that stuff. From our bird's eye point of view, I would have just done these. I would have just done Sludge Belcher, but
Reporting for duty.
Wild Pyro is a very annoying creature to deal with as a paladin. Well, Dr. Balanced is coming out. And there he is. Now, Trevor doesn't have a fantastic way to deal with him right at this moment. I think the Belcher is probably still the best play. You Belcher, make another token, or just pop one of the bombs now. Yeah, there you go. Pop one of the bombs now. Let it hit you in the face for 2 damage. Make a Belcher, drop the mini bot, hope for the best.
Shields off. Red alert.
2 mind controls. Ouch. I don't see that very often in Priest decks anymore. Looks like Trevor's probably going to be... Trevor's running out of steam here. And it's not very good because there's 3 big cards here that can deal with any major threat. And dropping Tyrion here is probably never going to happen due to the very reason that... Oh, the Battle Shadow Priest to move. Yeah, them combos are real. Zombie Chow is not what he needs here. Harrison's not a bad drop, though.
In a museum.
Reporting for duty.
Alright, well the mini bot is probably going to get stolen here, or maybe he might save the Shadow Priest for future. Shadow over Death on... Yeah, so that's a big tell for Trevor if he's paying attention. The fact that Shadow over Death is used now also means that he has alternatives for something like Tyrion. True Silver Champion, not quite what he needs. Trevor is running out of time and options. In fact, Lethal's on the board. Trevor gives it up.
Well played.
Ran out of steam. Jamie takes it 3 games to 2. Upsets the 3rd seed. And moves on to the semifinals to will 100% play against Pat Frappier, our 1st seed in the semifinals. Because he's the lowest seed no matter what. So, good game Jamie, good game Trevor. It was a darn good matchup. The Hunters were real. The Rogue power was there. Paladin deck was clutch, and then the Priest came in and just got the right moves at the right time. Was able to take out the Paladin. Trevor, good game. Good season. We'll see you next season. And until then, folks, we'll see you next time on RecStone.